Hi guys, this is Miss Raina here in C347, your trusty environmental systems teacher, coming to you today to talk about the rock cycle. So you should definitely pause the video here and keep this in mind for college. Wherever you see a diagram, draw the diagram. Now that you have, I don't know, all the electronic devices that we didn't have back in dinosaur ages of my day, you should probably just take out your phone and take a picture when you see something like this come up during lecture. But definitely draw these diagrams when you see them in college, and you can kind of tell that this is basically the same rock cycle that you've been looking at since middle school. And so what we're going to be concentrating on are kind of some implications of this rock cycle. What do they mean in terms of human impact on the environment and the impact of the rock cycle on people? So where do we get some of these things that we value? All right, so the most abundant element in the Earth's crust is oxygen, not the most abundant element in the atmosphere. The most abundant element in the atmosphere is nitrogen, and that's because oxygen reacts very quickly and very readily, and so it'll get into all of those precipitates, all of those solids. It becomes a part of all of those clay soils that are highly composed of metal oxides. So it means that they're kind of trapped out of the air and into the solids. Those settle down into the Earth's crust. We have here the most abundant element in the Earth's core is iron, definitely ferromagnetic, and so when it spins, makes a weak but big magnetic field. Aluminum is the element commercially extracted from, I hope I'm saying this right, bauxite. All three rocks are being recycled. They're constantly being converted. So here are the different types of rocks. We've got igneous, and this is the bulk of the Earth's crust. It's formed below ground. Those are the intrusive ones, and the extrusive ones are formed from the solidification of lava above ground. Sorry if that's a little bit difficult to see. So we've got some examples here. Make sure you're pausing and writing wherever you need to. Sedimentary are the rocks that are formed when sediments settle. It might be results of erosion, it might be results of deposition for some other reason, maybe a body of water, maybe wind. Clastic are pieces that are cemented together by quartz or by calcium carbonate. Some people call this caliche, some people call this lime. We see a lot of this around here. This is why we have the quarries that make concrete. Non-clastic are chemical precipitates. In our case, this is why there's a lot of limestone in San Antonio. So this oozed out of the bottom of the ocean didn't necessarily come from quartz being put together. They can also be biochemical sediments like peat and coal, maybe petrified wood and opalized wood. Metamorphic is what happens when pre-existing rock is subjected to high temperatures and then kind of like resolidified, or maybe the matrix is lined up in a highly energetic situation and then cooled down quickly. Again, this happens deep within the Earth. So contact metamorphism happens because a body of rock is close to a body of magma. Maybe limestone will become marble, sandstone will become quartzite, shale will become slate. Dynamic metamorphism happens along faults. So where the different plates are kind of like moving. This is dynamism they're talking about. So the rocks might be brittle. The crystalline matrix might be lined up so that cracks propagate very quickly. Or it may be ductile, meaning that it can withstand some amount of shear before it finally cracks and breaks down. Any rocks that are formed along fault zones, make sure you write this down, mylanites. So regional metamorphism will happen during mountain building. Progressive metamorphism is where one rock turns to the next stage, turns to the next stage, turns to the next stage. And so here you've got the best example here of that progressive metamorphism. All right, lucky you. You got a short set of notes and we're done. You're now ready for a rock cycle quiz. It's fair game as soon as we get to class tomorrow, so be ready. Have a good night. We'll see you then.